2 weeks ago, I ran a 10K off-road trail race, left the camera at home and absolutely crushed the run. I came third, as in podium third. Wasn't on an actual podium because coronavirus notoriously attracted to any sort of platform, but had there been one, I'd have been stood on it. This weekend just gone, I took all my cameras to a duathlon. I did more filming than Lord of the Bloody Rings, and where did I come? No way near third. In fact, I just about scraped above average. The moral of the story, I've no idea. Something to do with cameras, I guess. Okay, let's review this mediocre at best performance. It was the Trail X Winter Duathlon in the New Forest. If you're American, that's an ancient forest. It was the winter version. I'd done their autumn duathlon already. Americans, that's fall. No more help for you guys to keep up. I did all right last time, not great. There were certainly some things I wanted to improve on this time round. Did I do that? A little bit. Let's go through it. It was a staggered start. COVID, again, rearing its ugly head. You can't all go off at once and you can't lick each other at any stage. It was roughly a 4-kilometre run, a 14K bike ride, and then a 4-kilometre run to finish off again. The course was brilliant. It was actually much better than last time. It was really technical terrain for both the run and the ride. The run, it was perfect terrain for me. I loved it. Off-road, through the woods, I love all that. In fact, I just kept thinking the whole time how cool this would be if it was just a run. I didn't have to then worry about getting on a bike. There was a few nice climbs, nothing crazy, nothing that meant I had to walk at any stage. I really enjoyed the run. Pace was just over 5 minutes per kilometre, so not crazy quick, even allowing for being off-road. I was trying to save my legs for the middle bit though. I did recall from the last duathlon I did, getting on the bike was tough work after running for even just a few kilometres. So we get to the transition onto the bike, and the biggest change this time round from the autumn race was I didn't wear my cycle shoes to clip in to the bike. I rode the bike in my running shoes. Was that a good idea or not? Here was my thinking. I lost a large chunk of time last time round in transition changing shoes. And it's not a particularly long race. There isn't time available to throw it away. I figured this time round it would be even worse because I'd have shoes caked in mud that I'm trying to get off and on. I was also worried that the muddy, slippy course meant that I might not be comfortable clipped in on the mountain bike. I might want to be dabbing a foot down, and that might just leave me, well, uncomfortable is the right word. And the other problem I'd had was that last time, to get my running shoes off and on quickly, I'd use speed laces, the elastic laces that let you just throw the shoe on. That meant I got them off and on relatively quickly, but then when running, I didn't find them very securely attached to my foot. And when I'm running off-road, I like my shoe to feel that it is well fitted onto my foot. It sounds an obvious requirement. Last time it was slipping and sliding, and this time being even wetter and muddier. I was just worried that I was going to be compromised all over the place. Compromised, not feeling comfortable on the mountain bike, compromised, shoes sliding about on the run. So my thinking was run and ride in the same shoe. The transition time will be fast, I can dab a foot down and the shoe will be on my foot properly. And it kind of worked, kind of. The main downside was that the shoes, when I was riding the bike, didn't feel very attached to it because they weren't in any way attached to it. I'm very used to being clipped in now, whether it's on the Wahoo kicker in here or out on the road bike. So bouncing about over roots and rocks and so on, I just felt like I was pretty much on the verge of bouncing off the pedals at times. I also felt like I lost a real ability to transfer power down through my crank. When you're clipped in, obviously you can pull up and push down. You can push over the top with the pedals. You can basically generate power right the way through the cycle movement. You can't when you're not clipped in. You can just push down alternately. It wasn't ideal, to say the least. And then, if I'm honest, the problem with the whole race and the reason why I'm not going to do another one of these, I'm just too big for this sort of thing. My size is less than perfect for many of the sporting things I do, but I try and find somewhere where I can get a positive from it to at least counter some of the negative. For example, on the road bike, I'm about as aero as a bus, but I'm relatively powerful, so I can at least counter some of that wind resistance by being able to generate more power. When I'm running off road, my longer stride means that I can cover gnarly terrain a bit quicker sometimes. I can jump ditches, I can clear logs and things in the path a lot easier than a much smaller runner can. Again, it doesn't completely counter the fact that I'm just big and heavy, but it goes some way towards it. Here, the only thing that really I can use to my advantage is the ability to put down power hard and fast, and that wasn't particularly beneficial. There weren't many straight sections, it was all twists and turn stuff, and it just really took its toll on me. As I was riding along, I was acutely aware of how draining it was feeling. It's quite hard to describe unless you're also someone quite big and heavy, but changing direction, stopping and starting, clearly it is harder when you are 230 pounds than if you're 150 pounds. If you are going in this direction and now need to go in that direction, you've got to, like a tanker, turn it around, as opposed to being, what's smaller than a tanker? A speedboat. Is that a good example? A tanker and a speedboat. Yeah, it probably is. Oh yeah, and I pushed the bike up a hill at one point as well. This section was incredibly steep. When I got to it on lap 1, there was a few other bikes around. We all did the same thing. Easy gear, span like lunatics, went about 2 miles an hour, quads on fire. Horrible, horrible, horrible climb. Came round to it on lap 2. I look around, there's no one else there at that point. I thought, if a tree falls in the forest and there's no one there, does it make a sound? If I push my bike up a hill in the forest and there's no one there, did I really do it? No. So I jumped off and I ran up the hill with the bike, and it was 10 times quicker than riding the bloody thing. Came round to it on lap 3, didn't even look around, couldn't care less who was there. I was absolutely exhausted. I got off, I ran straight up the hill. Horrible. And then back into transition, nice and fast. I've got nothing to do other than take the hat off and out for the run. And it's always nice, isn't it, to start your run as the fast guys are finishing theirs. That's motivating. And the run second time round was, again, it was good. It was a nice run, although, as I explain, oh, this is an amazing route. It's just so annoying. My legs don't work to enjoy it. And that really does sum up the run. It was an amazing course. I mean, check out the official photograph. A beautiful, beautiful place to run, just not when you're exhausted. Actually, as I was doing the run, I started to almost regret ever buying the Trek hardtail in the first place. Here's how that happened. Go back to the beginning of the year, I have zero interest in bikes whatsoever, other than maybe cycling around in the summer, going on a picnic with Jenna. That is it. But I like running. As the year progresses, I get more into running, and I realise that I'm running so much that actually maybe adding a little exercise bike in here will allow me to do some endurance work at the weekends, not quite so pounding on the legs as long runs. I buy the Wahoo Kicker. I get hooked on cycling and think maybe I do want to try racing, but I don't want to go full Lycra pony on day one. I'll ease my way into the sport through the mountain bike route. Hence I go and buy the Trek. I then book some off-road duathlons to do with it, and then I forget exactly how, I end up buying a triathlon bike and booking an Ironman, and by the time the duathlons come round, COVID has cancelled them anyway. And by the time they get resurrected in the form of the autumn and winter duathlon that I've now just done, I'm kind of over it. I am head down, full aero monkey, committed to the road bike stuff. The idea of riding a mountain bike around the woods getting covered in crap just doesn't really appeal anymore. I don't need that easy way in, I'm already there. The Trek may well be up for sale. Anyway, I do finish fast. Push, push, push.
It was a super speedy finish here, good man, well done. Super effort. Well done, Mark, that's a great run. Congratulations.
And results. Regular viewers will know that I like to try and find a category somewhere that I did well in, even if I have to invent it. So buckle up, that's coming. There were 76 races in total. Half of 76 is 38. That gets me into the above average position. Mission complete, I am 36. The first run, 19 minutes 10 seconds. I was 30th out of 76. Transition 1, 39 seconds. 18th out of 76. Actually not that good considering that I didn't have to do anything other than put on my hat and go. The bike, 49 minutes 37, 41 out of 76, so not even top half. Transition 2, number 1. I was the fastest person through transition 2, 23.9 seconds, crushed it. Second run, 20 minutes 56, 32 out of 76, giving me my overall average of 36 out of 76. It's above average. Just at the end of the day, would I do it again? No. I'm pretty much done with duathlons off-road. Did I enjoy it? It was all right. I probably painted a rather gloomy picture that is based on my experience, not representative of the day. It was incredibly well organised. If it is your cup of tea, you probably had an amazing time. Any regrets? Yes. 2 weeks ago, I should have taken my bloody camera. Third, podium. Okay, like, subscribe. I'm out of here.